Welcome to Getting Home Sourced with G. Your one-stop shop for all things real estate. Gianno is your go-to guy with over 25 years of experience in the game, serving up the insider scoop on buying, selling, and investing in two of the hottest markets, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Cabo, Mexico. Whether you're looking to score the perfect home, seal the deal on a sale, or dive into the world of international investments, G's got the tips, tricks, and swagger to make it happen. Remember, in Nevada, the smart choice is the right choice. And when it comes to Cabo, you better go oceanside with Cabo G. If you were looking for a quiet, tranquil show about real estate, this ain't it. Gianno has this thing called passion. Let's unleash the beast. This is Welcome to Getting Home Sourced. And now your host, Gianno.
Hey, what do you say? We got a great show, but folks, this is a special edition show, and we're going to be a little bit long today because this is going to be a Revenge of the G / Mother's Day episode of Getting Home Sourced with G, as I'm your host, Gianno. And of course, I like to start out by saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody listening around the world. Thank you so much for your love and support. More importantly, everybody was wondering, hey, where'd you go the last couple of days? You've been down, and we thought you got a new logo. We thought you were Birdman now instead of my regular logo, but we'll get into that in a second. But this show, for the first half, I have to address some situations that took place because I like to say 5 individuals, but in this instance, it's going to be 5 donkeys because I'm very passionate about what I do. And I love bringing out my show to everybody that's listening. And obviously, you guys all love it because I've gotten a lot of emails and text messages saying, hey, what happened to you? Why are you down? We haven't heard from you. We're looking forward to listening to your show. And I said, hey, stay tuned because I'm down for a little bit, but that got rectified in 2 days. And here we are right back up and running again. So for the disclaimer that I want to say, first of all, is that everything that I say on this show, again, I have 26 years experience practicing Realtor in 2 countries and in 2 states. So I'm in Nevada, I'm in Arizona, and I'm in Mexico, and I'm in the state of Baja California Sur. Okay. I have a permanent resident in Cabo. I have a residency in Cabo, and my second home is basically back and forth. So I'm always back and forth, as you guys know. I'm in Vegas, but I'm also in Cabo. So I have 2 residences and I reside in 2 places. So that's the first thing. Secondly, is that anytime I bring information and I bring content to the show, it is factual. This is not something that I've made up. A lot of times it's my opinion. If you listen to my prior shows in the past, it's an opinionated show. However, it's also factual and it's fact-based. And anything that I might think that might be a gray area or something that I want to tackle is I always have a strong legal team, and I reach out to my legal teams to discuss a situation before I put on a show. So if I get a green light from my legal team, then I'm going to talk about it. So with that being said, that's my disclaimer. And obviously for people, look, I have a great fan base, I have a listener base, and again, I really appreciate you guys. But, you know, I was always brought up and raised, I'm an Italian New Yorker, and I was always brought up in a strong household that always said, you know, do unto others as others do unto you. You want to be kind to people. And you also want to have a people, like if there's an argument or a discrepancy or disagreement with things, you always want to talk it out. That's the most important thing because you never want to go to bed angry in life, right? So whether you're with your spouse or if you're at work and you take your work home, you try to relax and get that over. But I'm a passionate person, okay? And when I feel as though I have the opportunity to express myself and somebody or some people disagree with what I have to say, I was always brought up and raised that, hey, you know what? You contact the person, you call them, and you work out your discrepancy before you act like a high schooler and go behind my back and then try to basically rat me out, try to get me in trouble. Most importantly, try to take the show down. And so for these 5 donkeys that I'm not even going to acknowledge except that they're just donkeys and they're realtors. And here's the thing. At least I'm a classy person and I'm not going to call out these people specifically by name because I know who you are and I know what you guys did and I have all the documentation and that's fine. So I keep that for my knowledge and my protection. But I will tell the people, the audience, that these 5 donkeys basically ruined a good show last week. And on top of that, these 5 donkey realtors that are probably either jealous or they're probably haters or they're probably both. But more importantly, they're not mature enough and they're not even professional enough to contact me on a real estate show to even question what I'm doing rather than just go behind my back and try to rat me out like in high school. Let's go to the principal's office and then try to get reprimanded or get detention, which is exactly what happened. I got my show that I was going to go live with on Saturday. It was up for 2 days, got taken down May 5th, Monday, because these 5 donkeys were upset about the content that I was talking about, which they thought was either fraudulent or I misrepresented myself or just complete non-factual and lying, which pertains to the second half of my international rewards program show that I was going to be discussing last week about here in the U.S., but unfortunately that got taken down and we can't talk about it. But if you're interested and want to know more about what happened, again, you can reach out to me at my toll-free line for my international friends, 888-528-2810, or my domestic line, 702-528-2810, or you can email me like most of you have done, so thank you so much for your support and love, is Gianno, Gianno, at VegasHomeSource.com. So I just want to let the international friends know that, folks, you guys are okay. I love you. It has nothing to do with anything international. This is specifically for U.S. base, and that's why the show was disrupted, I would say, for a couple of days, or at least all for this week. But now we're going to launch a special edition show because now my revenge factor is that you can't shut my voice up. I know a lot of people, and I've been very well versed in town, both in Cabo and in Las Vegas. And so for the donkeys that are out there, that I'm going to name the areas that they're in. So folks, for all my domestic listeners that unfortunately these 5 donkeys basically ruined a good opportunity for you. But again, if you want to reach out to me and I can express what they did and what they said, I'm not going to give their names. I'm just going to tell you the 5 donkey real estate people where they're located at. I had 2 in the Vegas area, 1 in Henderson and 1 in Searchlight. I had 1 in Woodland Hills, California. I had 1 in Tampa, Florida. And I had 2 in Dallas. So for those donkeys, I want to give you guys a round of applause for being absolutely stupid and unprofessional. And more importantly, have no class. And you know what? I tell it like it is. As I've always talked on my show, this is real deal. This is street talk. This is real talk. It's real estate. But also it's life. And you know what, folks? I really don't appreciate donkeys like that are in my profession. And the most important thing of all is that when you have a discrepancy, you call it out, you talk to a person. When I'm dealing with the transaction, if I'm working with the buyer or if I'm working with the seller and I'm talking to the other agent, I always give that agent respect. I always take the time to talk it through. I never raise my voice. I never get excited about a situation because, again, the emotions go towards the people that hire me, or in our profession, realtors as a whole. We're obligated and our loyalty is to the client that we represent. But when we're our own and we're brothers and sisters and we're out there and we're trying to make it happen, and then you have people that are not only ignorant, but are not educated, and these donkeys go behind my back and not even reach out when I said to everybody, hey, people, if anybody's ever got a problem with me, feel free to reach out. Give me feedback. Let me know how I'm doing and talk to me, because if you think that there's something wrong, well, then let me educate you, as meeting these donkeys and realtors in general that don't know the difference between how to do business in the U.S. and how to do business in Mexico. As I've mentioned before, I've been licensed in doing real estate and practicing real estate. I hate to say doing, but practicing real estate in Cabo, Mexico for 3 years, okay? Going on 4, actually. And practicing real estate and been in the industry for 27 years and licensed for 26 years. So I would have to think that in all the years that I've been practicing, I pretty much know what I'm talking about. And I know what I have to say because I have a track record that dictates that. But I don't appreciate donkeys that go behind my back, try to pull the show down, try to make a big thing out of nothing, and then more importantly, make a big stink and whatever you guys said, which of course I do know what you said, but I have to make it like I don't know what you said. But you know what? I do know what you said, and I do know who you are. And trust me when I tell you, I really hope to God that you guys would take the time in the future. And if you don't like my show, then just unsubscribe and go away. I don't care, okay? But I care for the people that are listening to my show, that reach out to me, that want to know about the process. They want to ask questions. They want to know about Cabo. They want to know about Vegas. They want to know about being in the U.S. and how that works, especially if they're in different cities, countries, states, what have you, all over the world, because this is a worldwide show, folks. And to have 5 donkeys ruin it for domestic people and to try to interrupt my show and take it down, folks, it's not going to work. I'm up and running again. That's how fast it works, because that's how strong I am, and that's how strong, quote, my legal team is, okay? So for those 5 donkeys, if you want to save faith, hey, give me a call. If not, then guess what? Do me a favor. Don't listen to my show. Go somewhere else and let my audience participate with me and let me do what I do best, which is giving the facts and being factual and being truthful. And now, folks, not once have I ever lied to anybody on this program. That I've been doing it now, and my listener base dictates that, because I have over 250,000 worldwide listeners. I don't think that's by accident, and I don't think that's by coincidence. I think it's because I tell the truth, I speak my mind, I give the current events, and I give the facts. And that's it. I mean, I don't pretend to be more than I am. I just tell people that this is what I do. I'm in like hospitality. I help people. That's my job, whether it's my clients or other people. I try to make the connections, because why? I'm the source of the source. And so for these 5 donkeys, I'm very disappointed in you guys. And you know what? You failed, because I'm back on the show again. And obviously, it was a slap on the wrist. I got, a disturbance. It got taken down for a couple of days. But folks, I'm back up and running. And we're not going to have any more issues again. I can promise you that. And to put these people on notice, I would hope and appreciate that you call me up, get the facts straight. And again, for anybody else, if you have a problem with what I'm saying, why don't you just give me a call first before you try to go into the principal's office per se, because it's not going to work. I'm too strong, and I have a good, strong audience, and I have great relationships in high places. And that's the reason why I have a successful show the way I do. I have a successful following, I have a successful practice, and I have a successful business. So now we're going to take a quick commercial break. My rant is done, and these donkeys did not get us off the air, so I'm back, and I'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Are you living outside the United States, figuring out how to make extra money in a tight economy? Are you looking to work out of your house or on your computer with zero money out of your pocket? Then say no more, as Cabo G's International Rewards Program is perfect for you. All you have to do is visit VegasHomeSource.com and click on our rewards button. The touch of a button, you now have the opportunity to turn your referrals from friends and family into cash. For more information, call us at 888-528-2810 or drop us an email. Come learn to earn with Cabo G.
Hey, what do you say? Sorry, folks, I had to get that off my chest, because you know what? I am a passionate person, and I take pride in what I do, And I just don't appreciate people that try to go, street and go dirty and do dumb things without talking, and communication is key. That's why I do the show. It's about communication. It's about expressing facts and giving to the people that may be in the real estate industry or mostly not in the real estate industry to know what's going on with the current affairs and how things work and how to walk you through the process, and more importantly, protect you from pitfalls and from a lot of bad actors that are out there that try to take advantage of the consumer. And again, folks, I don't do that, because if I was a bad actor, I would be taken down. I wouldn't even be doing this show, and I wouldn't even be allowed to be on any of these platforms. So on that note, I just want to say thank you for everybody. So round of applause for everybody that supported me, that reached out, that says, hey, what's going on? We miss you. We love you. And we love your show. And I'm back. So now moving forward, I want to talk about Mother's Day, because obviously it's the Mother's Day edition, and we're going to have this show running for a little bit. And because we have to make up for the disturbance that took place for this particular week, because I wanted to express to you guys the opportunity that I had for people. And like I said, reach out to me and I could talk to you and we could discuss that in private. I'm not going to mention anybody's names anymore, so that's done with. You guys know who you are. I know who you are. And that's all that needs to be said. So with that being said, as far as Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day to all my moms, especially my mom. Love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day to you. And to all the mothers that are out there, God bless. Hey, listen, I know what it's like being brought up by a single parent. My pops died when I was young, so didn't really have a father figure around. And so was just surrounded by all women in my life, which is a sister and aunts and grandma and cousins. And funny, I'm like the only guy left, considering it's just me and my grandpa. But my grandpa obviously passed away a few years back too. So, but the point is that I want to wish everybody happy Mother's Day, because again, moms are an important person in our lives. They help us grow. They understand us. They nurtured us to where we are today. And I like to think that if you come from a strong family background, moms are the most important person, I think, because of the fact that they're always there through thick or thin. It could be tough love. It could be sweet love. It could be open love. Whatever your relationship is with your mom, I would take the time. If you have a bad relationship, make that phone call. If you have a great relationship, you still make the phone call, but reach out, because I think it's very important. Again, being passionate and kind of tying in what had happened over here, and it just happens to be Mother's Day coming up and Mother's Day weekend. Again, it's about love. It's about passion. It's about who you are, who supports you, who loves you. So in that aspect, I want to give a shout out to moms and say thank you so much for really all that you do and to make me the person that I am today. And look, I stand up for myself. I respect others, but I don't respect people that don't respect me. And you're going to get bit. And you know what? Sometimes you can't read a book by its cover, because you don't know what's on the inside. And people that think they're going to take matters into their own hands, I'm going to tell you right now, you lost. And on top of that, now you have the consequences of that. Hey, I'm back on the air, and, I'm going to still keep talking and doing my thing. So, but with real estate, again, right now, folks, you have, distress situations popping up again. And so who else, when you talk to family members, if your mom's still alive, great, you reach out, you have that conversation, and you kind of reflect on things and where you were and where you are now, where you want to go. Because I know that right now, especially in the Cabo market and in the Vegas market, you have two different situations. Because in the U.S. right now, as we were told, actually this past Monday, a couple of days ago, that student loans are going to kick back up again. There's a lot of people that are struggling, and now they got to make payments. That's going to affect their credit. It could garnish their wages. And now what happens? Here are people that may have a property, or they're in the process of already purchasing a property. They have a mortgage, and now they might be upside down, or they're squeezing. And now we have a distressed situation where they have to basically save their credit, because, folks, the government here in the U.S. will ding your credit score if you don't make back those payments on the student loans. I know it stinks. There was a free pass for a while, but now, unfortunately, the party's over, and they want people to be responsible for their actions on what they've done and taking out a loan, right? So, but between that student loan distress, there's a lot of Canadians. We talked about this before, that there's a lot of Canadians that are upset with the tariffs that are going on with the U.S. And now there's a lot of Canadians that have property in the U.S. that are looking to sell their property because they don't want to be financially distressed. So they have to think of other options. So that's why, again, I talked about this the last couple of shows, that you can come down to Cabo. You're not going to have any issues down there because although the tariffs are going out to Canada from the U.S., obviously Mexico and Canada are still buddy-buddy, and they get along just fine with the U.S. in the middle, right? So for my Canadian friends that have property throughout the country here in the U.S. and you're basically cashing out and taking your money and you want to know where to go and what to do, contact me. Get into Mexico. You can repopulate your money. And at the end of the day, going down to Cabo, again, there is no restrictions on short-term rentals. That's why a lot of people buy property down there to fight against the hotels, which unfortunately I gouge down there and take money as well. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is what's going on. So you have a good opportunity, and it's a cash market. So it's, you find your property, you get in, you contact me, we get you in the right place, because there's a lot of times where you have to be on notice and get the information that there's, developers out there that are actually building bad product, and they take your money. It goes bad because guess what? The line stops. They can't get the supplies and what have you. Costs go up, and now they want more money, and it's not a viable situation. So it's important to make sure that, you're contacting me to get you in the right spaces, in the right places, because again, choice is everything. Location is everything down there. But most importantly, it's a development. It's the builder. It's getting that going. So just be careful and mindful of when you're purchasing. If you're not in Cabo and you're in Cancun or you're in mainland, again, be careful of where you're at. Make sure you get the information. Talk to a couple of different realtors. You don't need to go on YouTube and start listening to other people's platforms because they may not know what they're talking about. So you really want to talk to a realtor that's experienced, that's been doing the business, that's been in the trenches and in the weeds and getting that done. Now, for my U.S. domestic friends that are probably going to start that cycle of, well, now I got financial constraints because of the fact I got student loans I may have to pay, or interest rate, or folks, even the ARMs. I mean, like right now, the feds are not going to change the rate. The rate's going to stay. Well, again, let me be clear. So with the Fed rate, when they do their changes on the interest rates, whatever, that is not really directly affecting mortgage, because unfortunately, if let's say the Fed goes out and they say they're going to drop the rate, how many realtors do you see online that go up there and says, oh, hey, the Fed just dropped the rate 0.25%, half a percent. Hey, your mortgage rate goes down by that much. Wrong answer. That's not the case. And actually, most cases, the interest rate, if that drops, the mortgage rate actually would go up, right? So in most instances, so you have to be careful in who you're listening to. So that's why, like I said, if you want to check, you go back and listen to my other episodes. I tell it like it is, folks, because I'm giving facts and I'm giving from experience what I've seen, what I work with my clients. And right now, you see a lot of iBuyers, which are basically domestic investors looking to run around now across the country, whether they're hedge funds, whether they're individuals or small, group entities that are trying to buy your property, sellers that have properties cash, because now with public records in most states, you get to see the person's information, what they paid for it, when they paid for it, if they have a notice of default, if they have a foreclosure, or if there's a short sale status. Folks, in the U.S., information is very easy to get now, but we've always had this. Some states like Utah, God bless Utah, they're tight-lipped. They don't give information out, right? So you got to really pull teeth and do some really serious deep digging to get people's information. But other than that, on the title states, it's very easy to get information, and basically this is what's happening right now. So now you're having people that are squeezing, that are on the fence. You have arms that they may have taken out that are adjusting now, going up. And you also have people that are not paying their credit cards. They're not paying medical bills. There's just an unfortunate situation where the squeeze is on. I know with tariffs hitting now people, it's a little bit of an underbelly festering situation. So we have to be mindful of that. I'm very sensitive about that. I get that data. I'm not going to, like I said, I don't lie. I tell like it is. I get the data. I see the people that are distressed or that are going to be distressed. And, they could put on a happy face about it, which is all you can do is you do the best you can. But folks, sometimes you have to really take a step back, let the ego pass. You just got to get on the phone. And again, the first three people that you're going to always talk to, of course, other than your family members, is always going to be your accountant, your attorney, your financial planner, or your financial advisor, because now you have to make them aware of what you're doing and where you're at in life. And that's why I want to be here for you. Again, just like a mom, right? But obviously Father's Day is in June, so we could tackle Father's Day when that comes up. But for this show, because it's Mother's Day weekend, and again, it's like being a parent. Like, I like to think of myself as a parental person because of taking care of families and taking care of individuals. That's what I do, right? What does a mother do? They take care of their family the best that they can, and they protect their family, right? So that's what I do. But in this instance, I protect not only my clients, but then you also have to protect yourself, which of course is what I did with my rant. And I'm sorry for people that don't want to hear the rant, but I have to put it out there because, again, I'm a kind of person where I don't hold back my feelings. I tell it like it is. And that's the way I am. I'm in your face. I'm straightforward. There's nothing to hide. So what you see is what you get, and what you hear is what you hear, right? So with that being said, I just want to say again, thank you for all the support, and thank you for reaching out to me and checking in with me. And again, folks, just to, be clear, this has nothing to do with my international people. My international rewards program, that still stays the same. That's not going to change. So for my international friends, again, listen to my show from last week. That will basically, show you what's going on. And for my domestic friends, again, sorry, we have 5 donkey realtors that are not only bad actors, but obviously are either jealous or insecure or not. Well, obviously they're not informed, because otherwise they wouldn't have done what they've done. And again, I'm not Birdman. I love my logo. So the bird logo, that's gone, never even existed. So for those that got a quick glimpse of it, that's not my logo. So my logo is what you see. So again, just want to say thank you to all my friends that are listening, and to all my future clients, as well as my existing clients and my past clients that are listening to the show. You know who I am. So thank you for checking in with me. I'm fine. I'm not on vacation. I'm right here in front of you, and I'm always going to be in front of you. And again, as I say, anytime anybody has any questions or concerns or answers, please reach out to me. Again, for my international friends, my toll-free G number, 888-528-2810, and my domestic line, 702-528-2810. And my email is Gianno@vegashomesource.com. And more importantly, folks, check out the website, www.vegashomesource.com. That's going to have all the information there that you need. And also, it's going to have my MLSs for both for Vegas and for Cabo, Mexico. So for those that are on there typing away, searching for properties, again, I see the activity back there. Thank you so much. Hey, listen, that's what I do. I put it out there for the people because I want you to enjoy. I know you don't want to get hammered on getting phone calls and seeing when you want to buy or when you want to sell. I get that, but at least you have a tool to where it can help you. So no matter where you live in the world, you have access. So please take advantage of it. It's a free gift from me to you, because I want you to be well aware of what's going on, not only in the markets that I serve, but also I can also enhance and answer questions that you may have. And that's the most important thing, because I am your source of the source. And if there's a situation where I can't get that information for you, well, of course, I have a vast network of people. I have a big connection and a big data group that I'm connected with and plugged into. That's why I have the CIPS designation, which is a Certified International Property Specialist. I have connections all over the U.S. I have connections internationally. So I will get you in the right direction. No problem. I got you covered. So on that note, love you guys. God bless. We're back up and running. Don't worry about it. We are not going down. We are going to keep moving forward. and life is good. So on that note, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Love you all, and we'll talk to you next week.
You have just listened to Getting Home Sourced with your radio host, Gianno Buonaguro. This podcast is a registered trademark and may not be reproduced without the express written consent of VegasHomeSource.com. For additional information about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, call or text Gianno toll-free at 888-528-2810 or visit his website at VegasHomeSource.com. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.